rescue, revamp, create. The art of drum synthesis. The new course is available at Letsynthesize Academy.
Yo, the Larson here, welcome to the newest Synthesize Sunday episode, and today I want to show you this awesome rack that can generate unlimited amounts of techno kicks. If you are into drum synthesis, click here. I have a full masterclass on how to create kicks, snares, hi-hats, crashes, percussion, experimental sounds in almost every existing EDM style. And also, if you want to grab this rack, go to my Patreon. You can find millions of other awesome stuff there, but right now let's jump into it. Right, so here is this familiar beat again. And the kick. So it sounds really nice. Let me play with it a little. So cool, so you can do a lot with this one rack. You can create unlimited amount of kicks. So I made a few presets. And as you can hear, the rumble is built into the rack, so you don't need to mess around with reverbs and stuff like that. I'm going to show you in a bit how I made it. I think it's really clever. Right, so I'm using one operator with an EQ and a limiter after that, and that is all. So it is one instance of operators. So the goal was here, obviously, to first set up the pitch bend range, because I'm sure that you know that kick drum are made mainly of one sine wave that has a huge pitch drop onto it. So the transient or the click starts on a really high pitch and it drops down really low in very short time. So this is what I wanted to follow, but I had to play around with the attack time that is really high, as you can see, on 4 octaves higher than the body of the kick, and that is because we wanted to create a very nice transient, a very nice click to it. The attack of the pitch envelope is the most important part to create that. But that would be nothing without the extra operators or the FM, because that is how it would sound. It's cool, but you know, it doesn't have the punch. So this is where the extra operators come in, because the goal was here, as you can see, just to focus only on the transient. This is why this envelope is quite short, and because I'm using this FM chain, all the other operators affect only operator B. In fact, only operator C affects B, and D affects only C, but at the end they add together and create a really rich in harmony kind of sound only on the transient because of this envelope. So from this point on, only job is to play around with the levels and the courses and even the fine of the operators. The main waveform is a sine wave and it is modulated by another sine wave. You can play around with the phase, and actually that creates a different tone. So let me show it to you. So as you can hear how the phase position changes the sound drastically. Well, only the transient itself, but I think here that is the most important part. Right, and then I added a saw wave and a noise loop at the end, and that is basically a sampled noise where you can play around with the formant simply by tweaking the course. Then I had to play around with the filter too, because if I don't filter it, it creates a different sound. To me, it sounds more like a hi-hat on top of the kick or at the place of the transient, and that is not very ideal, honestly. Plus, I was able to add a little bit of distortion and drive to the kick that brought up really nice harmonics on the kick that created this very heavy and punchy sound. Yeah, basically this was it. I applied a few parameters to these macros to be able to randomize the sound. And as you can see, you can create really awesome stuff. Just let me play around with a little, one click. Again, an awesome sound for an intro. A little quiet, but it doesn't matter, because if you filter the acid, another randomization, this is quite similar. Let's go back to main kick. So I added the rumble, and that was very simple, honestly. I didn't want to use a reverb because that would be quite uncontrollable. So instead, I copied the main kick, so the operator with the EQs and stuff, and I only lengthened the release of it, along with the operators, so with the FM. And as you can see, operator D is not a really short block right now. The reason behind that is I wanted to create a rumbly sound, because this is only the rumble, so we don't use it as a kick. So I wanted to create a rumbly sound similar to a reverb, and FM is the best tool for that. So this is why I wanted to have the full sound FM'd and really rumbly and with lots of weird and random overtones. So this is why I used full FM on operator B, C and D. That created a really long releasing or sustaining rumble, but obviously if I layer it on top of the kick, that would sound really bad. So what I did is I applied this gate and I loaded the sidechain from this chain. So the actual kick, as you can see, it is the actual acid techno kick from the tummy chain, not from rumble, post FX, and I flipped. What it does is it lets through everything from the rumble chain when the kick is muted or when it stops playing. So it creates a ducking effect on the kick where the kick plays, and it lets the rumble up when the kick stops playing. I think it is easier if I resample the kick with the rumble so you can see and not only hear what we are doing here. So as you can see, the kick itself is really clean, but there is a rumble after that. We can make the kick shorter if we want, for more rumbly sound, and this is not a reverb. This is the actual kick with some FM and with some filtering and stuff like this. So this is great because you won't have a chaotic sound every time the kick hits. You will get the same rumble every time and you don't need to resample the whole stuff. So as you can see, the rumble is almost the same on every hit. And that is really good because this way you know what you are dealing with. And for the acid, I had to use this bassline synth with some extra distortion and EQing to get the sound that we all know. Grab this rack from my Patreon below with millions of other stuff and click here for the drum synthesis masterclass. You won't be disappointed, but let's see you guys next time. Peace.